From ghost to ghost, an artist's journey. How this ghost here almost destroyed this ghost here. This guy's I'm trying to make a video. Hey, I'm trying to make a video. Hey.
This is AP Spray Arts, aka Lorne. I'm a Canadian spray paint artist. Keep an eye on this spot here. There should be something there that is missing.
So because my dogs are sharing the garage, one of the puppies likes to destroy things.
This is what we in the book world call foreshadowing.
Quick look at that.
So lots of stuff on the ground. A cooler where it ripped the lid off of. Chewed up workbench. Destroyed table corners. There's that cooler lid. This log splitter used to be able to plug in. That was a canvas. That was my first attempt at graffiti. So this means every time I would go to paint, I have to reset the entire studio. So I sped this up a little bit because you don't really want to watch me setting up. But I got palette knives, 16 by 20 canvas, my painter over in that box over there, and I got gloves and everything, set up the lights, set up everything I need. Went and grabbed some scrap paper, and that little pirate ship painting is just another piece of scrap that I'm going to use later on. Gotta do this every single time. Hairdryer to dry stuff with later on as well, and break. And then shake some cans and look for things I might have missed. Get out my gloves, and there I realize I forgot my glow-in-the-dark powder. Now this is the part where I start looking for something. I'm missing a book. I'm missing my book of stencils. My big book of stencils. It's about the same size of a 16 by 20. Looking all over for it. Can't find it. Looked in the house. I looked out here a few times. I went back to the house a few times. Can't find it. This is me coming back from the house. Looking under things, around things. Back towards the house because it has to be in there somewhere. Maybe I didn't bring it out. I was sure I brought it out when I brought out the canvas. This part is hilarious. I looked under the canvas. Move that around. It's not there. It's not under the table. Where could it be? I even paused recording because it was taking too long.
So I just spent the last 5 minutes looking for my book of stencils, which happened to be outside in the snow, because my dog took it. Not Churro that you've seen, who's coming in the door right now, but another one. His name is Ghost.
These are the stencils I could have lost. Nightmare Before Christmas, Joker and Batman, Wolves, Baldur's Gate, whole lot of dragons, Phoenix, Mystery Inc., a pirate ship that I don't really use anymore, feathers, mountains and circles. This painting is commissioned by a friend. They wanted a Nightmare Before Christmas. They'd seen one of my paintings before with some glow-in-the-dark stuff going on. So luckily, Ghost did not completely destroy this.
So I'm doing a Nightmare Before Christmas stencil. I have a lot of shows coming up. If you guys have any ideas for other kinds of stencils that I should be doing, anything at all that you haven't seen me do before, or even that you have seen me do before, let me know. I will pick which ones I think I can do, which ones I know. I'm not really in the know of what's going on, what's popular now, so let me know.
The plan for this video was to talk here and there, move the camera around so you got different angles, but to be honest, when I started painting, I just wanted to paint. So I just kind of did that. I've done a few different versions of this painting, and it's always fun, and I enjoy doing it and seeing if I can do it better every single time. As I think I said before, this is going to be a raw video. It's going to be pretty much going at the speed I'm going, which to me when I'm doing it feels like I'm going fast, but obviously here I can't even decide what I'm doing, so it goes a little slower, and it's really slow when people are watching because you want the street artist to be a little faster. I'm not that fast. That's all I can say. I am getting better all the time, but you want to be working on it and trying to get better all the time so that you can get faster and faster. And with some paintings like these ones, you want to be able to take your time, make it right. This one I had to try and get the stencil perfect, and then trying to put down Zero the dog, and that wasn't coming out right all the time. Here I took the tape off. I stuck it to the table there so that I could use it later to put Zero back onto the stencil. Keep that in mind for later. It's going to be something a little weird and stupid on my point. For anyone who doesn't know me at this point, like I said earlier, I'm AP Spray Arts, Lauren. I'm 50. I'm a grandfather to a 6-year-old. I'm a father to 2 kids that are adults. And I'm a chef on my day job. So this is what I do at night. Right now, doing this voiceover, it's past midnight, and I got to get to bed because I got to work tomorrow. So I'm doing the best I can with the time I have allotted. We all have busy lives. This is one of my first mistakes. I did the outline first for where the shape of the stencil is going to go, and then I did white for where Zero is going to go. But really, I should have waited to do that at the end because I'm going to have to redo it a few times. And of course there I'm trying to get hairs off the canvas because we have a bunch of dogs and they have a bunch of hair. Because I don't spray paint all the time, and in fact it had been minus 40 for weeks, so I haven't sprayed painted for like almost a month. I have an X-Acto knife there that I scrape off the paint off the cap. Yes, I could probably change caps all the time, but I also don't live near a place that sells spray paint caps. The closest store I know is about 4-hour drive away, which is not going to happen all the time. I could order them online, but that takes time too, and money and stuff I don't have right now. Like probably many of you viewers out there, I'm struggling right now. So what I did there was I used that little pirate ship painting to block it off. So I just put black where the 2 characters are going to be, and so that when I put the stencil down, they're going to be black, and then I don't have to worry so much about what's going on for Oogity, the ghost hill thing. Look at me getting all fancy with the 2-fisting it. For those that want to pick on me a little bit, I don't shake my cans enough. I should really shake them a whole lot more. You should shake your cans for about 2 minutes each, even more if you need to. I don't, and I'm stupid for it, and I admit that. So feel free to complain to me in the comments right down there. So even though I sprayed the outline of my stencil, every time I put in the paint to do the stencil part, I always don't put enough. So make sure that you are putting paint past where your stencil is a little bit. It's going to get covered up by other paints. It's okay. Trust the process. I always forget. Here I am using that board to make sure the green is going to stay down below. Doing a fluorescent green and then a darker green, and I'm going to use some paper to pick up some of that paint. I missed spots, so I had to keep going back after I checked and fill things up. You're going to see that in a little bit. As you'll hear from every spray paint artist, and probably every artist out there, it's all about layers. Building up different layers. Here I got the green, and then another green, and then we come in with the paper. And you take paint off because you're building those layers, building those textures. Ooh, you see that? See that tape on my leg right there? Texture, 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 making it kind of look mossy and rocky and all kinds of stuff. And I'll show you in a sec. Here it comes. There. The tape I put on the table to hold Zero down later on got stuck to my leg. I can't tell you how long I looked for that at the end of this. Probably like longer than I looked for the stencil book. And here I'm using a hairdryer to dry up some of that paint. Normally you could just wait, but it's cold, So if I wait, the paint's going to freeze more than it is going to dry, and that's not good for anything. And I could use fire like some guys do, and it's really good for street art and stuff, and it makes an awesome picture. But that's a whole lot of flammable stuff lying around there. I don't really want flames going everywhere. I don't want to catch anything on fire. I'm a klutz. If I use flame, it's going to go and catch everything on fire. I already did it once. Big trade show. I was using fire outside and the wind blew back towards me and it caught my gloved hand on fire, which is not a good thing for anybody. So be careful if you're going to use fire, or just don't. Use a hairdryer. It's so much easier. I also have a heat gun that I use, battery operated. So just try other methods, or just wait. If you watch my shorts recently, I talk about how this stuff, the hairdryer, is not in those videos because nobody wants to see me hair drying a canvas for however long it takes. It's kind of boring, right? But I promised you a raw video, and that's what this is. So here I am putting down the stencil, and I don't know, for some reason it doesn't match up to what I needed to, so I gotta add a little bit more color. Doesn't make sense. It happens to me all the time. I don't know why. So I just repeat the process. More fluorescent green, more dark green, pick it up with paper, and then I'm gonna have to dry it again. See, there it goes, back with the paper, picking it up, gives it a nice little texture, and you get all different colors from the light range up to the dark range, so it looks kind of cool. And then I come in with some black because I didn't think the head of Jack was in the right place, and then of course dry it up again. So this is the first time I'm trying a long version raw video, so we will see if you guys watch it, and if you like it, let me know. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, let me know. I don't know if it's as exciting as some of the others, but I'm trying different things, and that's all I can really do. Keep learning, keep doing stuff, and seeing where it goes and how it gets me. There I tested the paint a little bit, see if it was dry. If you're going to do that, make sure you do it on the edge, not right where you're going to be putting your stencil, which lines up nicely this time. So in order to keep stencils down, you need heavy weights. You can use rocks, you can use whatever. I have a bunch of sockets because I have a socket wrench, but I'm not mechanical, so I don't know what I'm doing with anything, so I use it all for my stencils. But of course I forgot to get them ready so that you could just see that instead of me searching through my bag for stuff. Maybe I shouldn't be this raw. And you weigh down your stencil so that when the cans are spraying, that you're not going to send your stencil all over the place and really mess things up. Here I'm going to put some white down for 0, and this one I really do mess up. But I fix it, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Dry, 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 dry. While I'm doing this, I'm going to talk about some other artists that I really enjoy watching on YouTube and learning from. If I go back to the beginning, it was Tom Willie Wells and Casey Van Arsdale, both really good artists of doing things on canvas, things on poster board, or spray paint, basics kind of things. Tom has ventured off into really detailed stencils, multi-layered, that are just amazing, and what he does with his spray paint is pretty cool. Then of course there was Sketch Art, who does huge paintings and is amazing in glow in the dark, so I really enjoy watching what he does. and hopefully get to meet all these guys someday. Who knows, right? Okay, I've dried where Zero is going, at least I think I do, and then I'm taking the little tiny stencil pieces to put down, but unfortunately it doesn't go down right, and then I got to pick them back up, and then it kind of messes up the paint, so I'm gonna have to try and fix that. Another spray paint artist that I really enjoy watching on YouTube is Kipto. He's amazing what he does. The videos that he makes there tell stories, and his paintings tell stories, and it's crazy what he does. And I tried to emulate him a little bit and do work on spray cans, but what he does on spray cans, I believe he has a new video coming out soon of some new ones. It's pretty cool. Here I sprayed too much white paint for Zero, so I had to try and dry that and then spray. Excuse Churro there, if you heard that. I had to spray more white paint closer to the characters so that I could try and get Zero down there so that he was there. And it turned out better than it was the first time because he was closer. The next artist I'm going to talk about is 1000. I first saw 1000 when Kipto went to do Artists in Wonderland. It was 5 US muralists against 5 Europe muralists, and 1000 was the main host. And then I learned about what he does and started seeing his art. So lately I've been binging everything he's got. He's got all of his videos are a fountain of information, not just about spray paint art or doing murals or any kind of art, but also about making videos and how you can entertain as well as just show people what you're doing. And what am I doing? Drying some more. And here I think I'm getting ready to do the moon part, which of course I gotta take the weights off in order to do the moon. This is basically going to get done the same way as I would any planet paintings or anything like that, and use yellow for the outline just because it's easier that way and I don't want to mess up some of the other colors. And then I'm going to lift it up and layer some colors down. I'm not going to texture this one because I have a special plan for it. And there you go, drying more stuff again. Always with the hairdryer. Next up for artists I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to stick with the Artists in Wonderland guys. Slew, he's an amazing artist. Just great portraits, and he had an art show, and his videos too, you can learn a whole lot of things. All of these you can learn things from. Here we go, some close-up action shots. This is me putting Zero down finally. It's dry enough to get him down there. Very dainty, and I shake a lot, so not greatest. And I do have some tiny weights to try and get part of it down. The other one is just going to have to try and be okay with it. If I need to, I can hold it down with a palette knife, much like that. And I'm going to start painting the moon. So I'm going to do this moon yellow and orange, and then I'm going to come in with some spray in the dark powders. Now I'm using the other spare card there to block the light, the paint, but then I realize, why am I doing that? Got the stencil down, it's not going to mess up anything, so I just kind of abandoned that whole thing. But I do have to hold some of this down, and then I remember, oh yeah, I have weights. I'm told that after time, all this stuff is just going to come to me, but I'm also 50. So If it comes to me, great. If it doesn't, I will just do it step by step the way I do it. And people can make fun of me all they want. Here's a question for all the artists and fans of art out there. Canvases. Should you paint the outside edge? A canvas can just be put on the wall like as is. You don't need a frame. So should you be painting the outside edge so that it's all color, or can it still be white and have blotches of color on it and stuff? You guys let me know in the comments, right? We're about halfway through the video, so I'm going to take a second and remind you guys, if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. If you really like what you see, subscribe, and if you can, share it with everybody you can. I could use all the support I can get. I want to try and make this channel bigger. I want to make myself bigger. And then if you can also go to all the social medias and follow me there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything. I'm there. AP Spray Arts. Go check me out. So on this big shiny full moon, I'm trying to make it as shiny as I can and colorful as I can. So dark orange in the middle, then light orange. I think that's called Scampi. And then bright kind of fluorescent yellow on the outside. So hopefully it's going to look awesome when I put it down. And now I'm going to commit with some glow-in-the-dark powders. You can see my little hand getting some of those ready over there. And basically it's just a powder that goes on. This one, the powder is colored. I want to get some powders that are not colored if I keep doing with glow-in-the-dark stuff. Sketch art is really the master at it. This is a little clear coat to just wet some of it up again. I'm just trying to do what I can do and figuring out what works for me, right? That's what it's all about, finding your style, finding what works for you, finding what you can do best. Maybe even not what you can do best, but what you enjoy the most doing. And that's what art is about, and that's what this is all about. So sprinkling on all that glow-in-the-dark powder, try to make this moon glow. I think I used gold, I used yellow, and I forget what the other versions of it all were. But hopefully, because you're kind of guessing when you're putting the powder down, hopefully it's going to glow right and it's going to be good. Back to some artists that I follow on YouTube. Smo Nova. He's a German artist. Excellent spray paint artist, muralist, graffiti artist. He goes into this abandoned factory basically and paints walls on it, and he's been at it for years and years and years, and he's just amazing. So go check him out as well. Is there such a thing as too much glow-in-the-dark powder? Probably. But I really wanted this one to be really nice for a friend, and so I wanted it to really, really glow. Now taking off all the weights so that I can put the lid back on and black out everything that needs to be blacked out around. I wasn't too sure which paint to use, and I decided to go with Rust-Oleum a bit. Rust-Oleum and Montana Gold kind of work together. I want to get rid of my Rust-Oleum paints because actually Montana Gold is cheaper now. Rust-Oleum, you got to go to like Walmart or Canadian Tire, someplace like that, and buy it. And it's like $13, $14 a can, where I can go to the store called Spray Mart down in Regina, Saskatchewan, and get Blue Flame paint, which is close to Montana Gold, for like $7 a can. They have some Montana Gold there, and I can always get it shipped in. And Montana Gold is my go-to right now. So yay, Montana cans. Give me a deal. Back to some more artists. Jess Karp. She is another one of the Artists in Wonderland artists. She's more of a traditional artist, I guess you can say. Her sketches are amazing. Her paintings are amazing. She didn't take up spray paint until she went to the Artist in Wonderland thing, and she learned it in one day, and by the end of their 10 days there, she was amazing at it. So follow that lady. This part was a little mess up. I came in with some dark blue on the bottom, or yeah, I think shock blue, I believe, and for some reason the can started to drip. You can see that in the bottom corner there. I just kind of collected up, so probably my fault. Probably didn't shake it well enough. Well, I know I didn't shake it well enough, and the cap might have been gunky. So be careful with what you're doing, especially if you're painting down like I do. Painting on a wall, probably a whole lot easier. And this I'm coming in to do some black on paper and then bring it in to make kind of a rocky surface on the area over there. And another artist is Doke, goes by Doke TV on YouTube. Great artist. I didn't follow him for a while, and then I did, and I'm very glad I did. He's amazing and has great videos on getting your art better, becoming a professional, and lots of fun videos as well. So I highly recommend you go check out Doke, even if you're just into the art. Okay, time for water stuff. So putting this down to block off the top from the bottom. And doing a little bit more blue black there, just to try and round out the blue stuff. Black on the edges, and then I'm going to come on with blue and then colors for the moon for reflection. This is the blue, but I'm staying a little bit back so that if there's any drips, it's not going to go onto the canvas, hopefully. Not that it really matters, because I'm going to be swiping across with my hand. Some yellow for that moon glow. And just a touch of orange. Now, will it blend? Will it swipe together to look like water? It needs a little work. I think what I did there is I didn't completely cover what was there, so when I swiped across, you're getting canvas coming through. Swipe, swipe, swipe. One key for anybody doing this kind of stuff, try and swipe all the way across your canvas. Sometimes you're going to have to do little swipes to mix it up. And there's the glow from the moon. Turned out really good. I was really happy with it. I forgot to do the eyes and the mouth of Oogity Boogity. So I just try and cover up the rest of it with my paper and then paint it in. Spray off to the side because my white can is getting low, so it's down near the bottom, so you're gonna have to push that paint and repellent back up through the straw inside. Here I messed up. I took the lid off. I forgot stars and stuff. So I have to go back later on, and you'll see me kind of trying to hold the paper and flick off to the sides, but that's near the end. Trying to get that eyes, mouth, and those three little ghosts again. Another artist to talk about would be Blackbean. He's pretty cool. He's got a great attitude about everything. And his style is a little bit different. He does a lot of portraits, but always a little bit askew. He was another one who had to learn spray paint right there when he was in the Artist Wonderland, and he learned it so fast that it made me feel bad. So I've been studying all these artists on YouTube, and the one major thing I'm taking back is that if they say you should go follow somebody, you should go follow somebody. whether it's T2 Sugars, Woke One, Lazy Arts, Nick Moody, Nerdforge, Jaza, any of these people, go follow them. They're all amazing artists, amazing work. One of my favorites that I follow is iSpray. He doesn't have that many followers. He's not that big of a YouTuber and stuff, but he does amazing work, and I like to study his work and figure out what I can do. Just carefully took up Zero the dog, and I'm spreading out some of the powder, and then I'm going to pick up the rest of it and show what we got underneath. This is always a scary and exciting part. And it came out pretty nice. Time to do the tree, and this is part that I really like. I like scraping out some of the paint and creating something that isn't normally there. Trees are somewhat simple to do, so gotta go with it and see what happens. But first I want to get rid of that straight line between water and land, kind of blend them a little bit. So I'm going to use a foam brush and some black, and just kind of slowly put in a little bit of line, make it a little bouncy and stuff so that it's not all completely straight. And then it looks more like a shoreline than just this straight line, because what's straight out there, right? Really, please let me know down in the comments if you guys like these long form videos, because I'm running out of things to talk about. When I'm painting, it does not feel this slow. It feels like I'm going super fast, and things are just happening. But watching it back, trying to explain what I'm doing, it just seems really slow. But right now, I'm scraping lines into the shoreline so that it looks somewhat something, rocks or just details. And now for the tree. There's always dead kind of trees in Nightmare Before Christmas, so this is going to be my version, just scraping up the paint, going into the moon a little bit. The yellow paint had gone farther than just the moon, so it almost looks like highlights of the tree branches as you come up. Besides whether or not you like these long form videos, also let me down in the comments artists that you follow, or even other people that you follow. I've been following people on how to do better YouTubes and how to just better your businesses and all that kind of stuff, so let me know who you're following and I will check them out, I promise. Carving in a little bit of roots for the tree so that it has something to hang on to the land. And then I'm going to come in and do land on the other side just so that it's somewhat even. You'll notice I'm not wearing my mask, the respirator mask. I don't recommend this, but the weather's still kind of chilly, so when I was wearing it, it started to drip condensation down on the painting, and that's the last thing I wanted to do. I'm not going to be in the paint area for long, so I took it off. It's not recommended, especially if you're younger. Well, even if you're older, I guess. Just because of the toxic fumes and everything, you don't want to have to deal with that stuff. I did a mural a long time ago, and I used water-based non-toxic spray paint, which doesn't have a smell. So I thought, nah, I don't need to wear a mask. So I didn't wear my respirator, and I was there off and on for 3 or 4 days, about 13 hours of painting this big huge mural, and by the end I'm coughing, and I don't know why I'm coughing, and I look down and I realize, ooh, Siggy in the corner, that on the floor was just tons of paint dust. So all this dust that was on the floor was also inside my lungs. So wear your mask. This is the last bit of painting where you're looking at it thinking, should I add something more? What did I forget? And then I grab a napkin to make some bushes down near the bottom, just to round it out. It's not just straight black. Got a little bit of white. I'm going to use white and black for the bushes. So you got white, black, and a little bit of gray in there as it mixes together. And then I'm still thinking, what else do I need to add to this painting? Has to be something else. A lot of us artists tend to add too much. We get to the point where we just want to add one more thing, but then we end up ruining it. So you really have to be careful that you're not stepping over that line. Go as far as you can get, maybe not even get that far. Hold something back so that you're not messing it up with too many details. Bushes down on both corners, and it was somewhere in here that I realized I forgot something. I forgot stars, but I don't really want to put the lid back down and redo the stars, so I'm trying with this paper to cover up the moon and then flick stars around it, sort of. I think I did a good job. I didn't get any on the moon, so that's a plus. And so with white paint on my finger, I grab this scrap paper, cover up everything, and flick. Just flicking some stars out. Not too many, because the moon would be bright, so you wouldn't be able to see too many stars. And then I stand back and I look. What needs to be put in there? What else do we need? I need something, especially on that right top corner, because it just seems lopsided a little bit. So I think shooting stars. I go get another scrap piece of paper that I can cut up and make into my little star stencil doohickey thingy. So if you don't know how to make stars, you need a little bit of card. Preferably a square, maybe a rectangle. So I cut it up. I'm going to fold it in half, pinch it really tight on one part, keep the top part a little bit open, and then you hold it just above the painting and you spray a little bit into the card at the top. It'll drop down and hopefully make you a good shooting star. Do a little practice shot off to the side, make sure it's the right way. Sometimes they curve a little bit, and then I go in there and do some shooting stars. And maybe I put a little too many in there, but you got to make sure you're not dripping anything as well. So if you're making shooting stars in your painting, be very careful. So we have talked about painting and some of the techniques that I'm doing. We've talked about some of the great other YouTubers that I like to follow and that I have gotten so much inspiration from that they're just amazing. If one of them were to like this, I would probably get all excited. I've had some likes from people like Tom Willie Wells and Sketch, and it has just gotten me so excited. I'm trying to look at the final thing, and I think I'm done. So time to dry a little bit of what I can, and then I have to put clear coat on. Clear coat, of course, is a protective coating, and it stops your paint from getting messed up. So make sure you do that, but also maybe wait. Maybe finish the painting and then let it sit for a couple days. And then you decide, do I need to add more? This one I was pretty sure I was happy with it. I wasn't going to need to add more. So cover up my face with the respirator and spray a couple coats on, going side to side, up and down, and then zigzagging across. Make sure you got enough coats on there to cover it, and make sure that you're not going to touch it anymore. The final coats of clear coat, and the painting is done. Less than an hour it took, and now we're going to get you some good shots of what it looks like up close. So here we go, finished products. I like the way the moon came out.
You made it to the end. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Hope you guys really liked it. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you again soon. Make sure you check out my store, and let's get the sexy shots.
On the streets with a can in hand, AP spray arts is a one-man band. Color bursts on bricks and walls, turning gray to vibrant halls. On canvas he creates a scene, with paper he brings life unseen. His art flows like a river wild, in every spray a free spirit's child. AP spray art's a legend in the night, turning shadows into light. With every stroke and every spray, bringing life to urban gray. He breathes life into concrete shells, with stories only colors tell. From alleyways to gallery floors.